What's up, YouTube? Hey, today we're going to be talking about a stamina DragonKnight in PvP setting. So I'm out here in Cyrodiil right now to show you a little bit about this stamina DragonKnight and how I run it, what setup I use, and how it's going to work, man. This build's a lot of fun. It's versatile, high survivability. You're not getting snared that much with the way we're running setup, and you're going to be able to pretty much infinitely sprint also. So we're going to go over everything and show you how everything works. And let's just get started. Let's start with the stats here. So buffed up, we'll get our best stats here. And potion. You're looking at 1900 stamina recovery, which is great for our sustain. Starting with the top, Magicka 11k, 24k, almost 25k health, and then 31k stamina. It's a little bit less than that in BGs. Obviously, you're going to lose some of that from your CP not being with you. Your damage, we do have a damage, weapon damage enchantment, so all buffed up, it will be more than what we're seeing right there. It'll be closer to 4k. It'll be about 38, yeah, about 3,800. Weapon crits, 30%. Not the highest. Resistances can get higher than that also. Let's bump that up. Looking at 20 and 17. That's solid. We do have really high crit resistance here though. 3,700. Huge. We got all the points in the stamina. We are running dubious right here. Stamina recovery, max stamina, max health, and I'm also running the warrior. So that's going to help a little bit with the damage. So let's hop on over and see what we're wearing for the sets. So we are going to be wearing Prisoner's Rags. This set is really interesting. It comes out of Cold Harbor, and you're getting max. So the 5-piece will be max stam recovery, and then reduce the cost of sprinting by 50%. And while sprinting, you restore 976. I think if you have everything gold, I think it's closer to 1,000, like 990. But restore 976 magic every 1 second. So as we're sprinting, as you see that little blue glow all around my body, it doesn't do it if you don't have any magicka to restore. You see how my body glows like that? So every time your body's glowing like that, it kind of also makes a noise too, little shimmering sound almost. As you're sprinting, you just watch my magicka fly back to the top, and you notice I don't have. I have 500 magicka recovery, so we're turning that instantly into 2,500 magicka recovery, because remember, recovery is every 2 seconds. So if you have 1,600 stamina recovery, as you see right there, you're receiving 1,600 stamina back every 2 seconds. So with this giving us pretty close to 1,000 magicka every 1 second, you're really looking like close to 2,500 with the 500 that we already have. So that's that. So that's one of the sets we're going to be wearing. Prisoner's Rags, we are going Nirnhoned front bar, infused back. That's the way to do it right now. It's disease damage enchant, weapon damage enchant. That's really going to help with the damage. We're running it on both weapons. So I actually bought this Prisoner's Battle Axe from a trader. I think I paid 5k gold for it. So just go shopping. It's infused. I do have poisons on there, so it doesn't really matter. You could go Nirnhoned here. You could go defending if you're having trouble staying alive. I mean, there's a lot of options with this. You could also go no poisons and run, do magic damage to give stamina back. I mean, it really depends on what you need in the build. PvP is really cool because there's so many different alleys that you can go down, kind of fit the way you want to play the build. So we are running all Prisoners Rags on the weapons. And as a DK, obviously we have to run Falcon. You have so many dots on this build. So with a bomb coming from the sky doing, buffed up. Where we at? Yeah, right here. I didn't even buff up. There we go. Doing 10k flame damage coming from the sky, right? And then 5k to all other enemies in the area. And people do group up in BG, so applying dots to groups of people and just letting the Falcon, you know, bomb them from the sky is just so easy. It's a lot of fun, and it helps out a lot with damage. I'm running sturdy on this. I will transmute this to infused down the road when I get some more transmute crystals. But so as far as the other set we're gonna use is Impreg. Obviously, you saw with the high crit resistance, max health, max stam, max mag, and then a lot of crit resistance. There's a lot of different options you can go on this also. You can go infuse big pieces. I'm running tri-set here. I was going to run a tri-set here, but I already had a Falcon helmet that had a tri-set on it from a different build, so I was like, okay, let's just do that. And when we are running a 5-1-1, meaning we're running 5 medium pieces and 1 light, 1 heavy. So our medium pieces will be everything. Probably you want a big piece to be heavy, so chest or legs if it can fit there, and then everything else will be medium. Our waist is our other light piece, and this is part of the prisoner's rag set because waist is the smallest armor piece. It gives the least amount of armor protection, so we want that to be our light armor piece. And then as for the as far as the jewelry, we are going to be running 1 impreg, robust, with stem recovery, and 2 prisoners. They come in arcane, and I don't want to run arcane, so I transmuted this one to swift. It really helps with the movement on this build. I mean, you just fly. I don't even have a pot up right now, and I'm just flying. So I mean, and then if I take a pot too, you can run all day, outrun anybody just about. And as you saw, one more thing, we are an orc. Went through the wrong one. We are an orc. So we are getting reduce the cost of sprint, increase the speed bonus, right? So we're running. We're running fast in this build. So we're going 1 swift with a weapon damage enchantment, and then we did transmute 1 to robust with weapon damage enchantment. The enchantments on the jewelry are personal preference. I personally do not heavy attack as much as I'd like, so I do have to run 1 extra stamina recovery. If you can heavy attack more, you can run another weapon damage enchant right here, and not have to use this for sustain, and you can pump out a little bit more damage. Or if you don't like to heavy attack at all, you can go 2 stam recoveries and 1 weapon damage, or 3 stam recoveries. It's really personal preference, and that's what we love about PvP. You don't have to follow bits and just, oh, best in slot this, best in slot that. Nobody cares. We want to make our own build and have fun doing it. So that's what we're wearing. We are using, like I said, dubious, and we are using speed pots. So and movability speed pots. Movability, major expedition, and then stam recover. Give stam back. The other, as you can see right underneath this, I slotted is immovability, restore health, restore stamina. I use this sometimes when I'm feeling like I'm not surviving that well in BG. Sometimes people do hit a little bit harder, so I'll switch over to these, and it helps a lot with the healing. And just like when a potion drops, you're getting that massive heal, that almost 10k heal right away. So this is more my survivability if I want to fly around and move and stuff. Majority of the time I am using the immovable with the major expedition. So on to the skills. Let's talk about skills. So, starting from the left, I'm going fragmented shield. This is a little tiny shield. You see this? It's 1200. But what we're really looking at here is the major expedition, major mending you're getting at the bottom of the screen. Increasing your healing done by 25% for 5.4 seconds. That's a lot. The other morph of this, it gives you major mending for like 2 seconds, I believe. So I did want a little bit, and it gives you a little bit bigger shield. So bigger shield trade-off, smaller shield trade-off for longer major mending. I decided I wanted to try that one. And it really helps with rally, which is our next skill. The rally, just the massive hill at the end of rally, it's huge. Plus you get major brutality, so you're not having to use weapon power pots or anything like that. So fragmented shield, it's costing magicka. Something else that's really cool about this ability, it's in the Earthen Heart, and when you cast, where are we at? Right here. When you cast an Earthen Heart ability, you restore 990 stamina. So sprinting costs stamina, but when we sprint, we get magicka back. So watch. I'm going to sprint. See my stamina going down. I'm going to cast shield and keep sprinting. Watch my stamina go up. Boom. I'm sprinting, y'all, and my stamina is still at the very top. And you just start sprinting again. You're getting 990, and I'm still keeping my magicka up. So something I'll do in a battle is like, say for some reason I ran out of stamina and magicka. I'll just take off. I'll start running, and as soon as I get enough magicka, I'll start spamming fragmented shield. I'll line of sight the guy, line of sight, sprint, line of sight. Because you don't have to sprint far. As you can see, I'm still glowing blue right when I turn around and start sprinting again. And I'll just get all my stats back, and I'll go back in. So those are the first two skills: fragmented shield, rally. Going reflective plate. This helps with immunity to snares for 2 seconds, and it's reflecting 4 projectiles over 6 seconds. So it really helps against your when you're fighting mag people. They're throwing destructive clinches at you and whatnot. So I haven't tried this out, but I believe it also blocks poison injection. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'll try it again. But I was dueling someone the other day, and I kept this up, and their poison injection was not their dot was not attaching to me. I don't know if that was a mess up in the game or what, because that does happen a lot in this game. But their poison injection was not, their dot was not on me whenever I kept this up. Every time they tried to spam that on me. So interesting find, but I'm not 100% sure if that works for everybody or if it was just a mess up in the game. Next, we're running shuffle. Since we are running 5-piece medium, we're going to run shuffle. This gives us major evasion, increases our dodge chance by 15% for 23 seconds, which is awesome. Next patch, it will change. So I might keep this here. I might not. I might switch to 5-piece heavy. Haven't decided yet. I'm going to have to play around with the build a little bit. But for now, we're getting major evasion, and we're getting, again, at the bottom, you can see immunity to snares and immobilizations for half a second for each piece of medium armor. We're in 5 pieces, 2.5 seconds. First dot on this build, on this bar, will be Venomous Claw, poison damage. And so it deals more damage the longer it lasts. The other dot on this bar would be our poisons that we're running on the actual bar. So you have to be aware as a DK, you have to be, especially running Valken, you have to be aware of where your dots are at. So when we're fighting someone, we can apply dots by light attacking, heavy attacking, and our claw on this bar. On the other bar, and we'll go there now, is Vault Armor is going to buff us. We're going to get major, both of the majors, Resolve and Ward. And in the middle paragraph, you can see they release a spray of spikes around you, causing enemies hit to take 4638 magicka damage over 10 seconds. That is another dot. Okay, so when you go into a group of players and you spam that, as you can see, there's a little bit of a spray out of those spikes. Anyone in that area is getting a dot on them. So what I'll do is I'll buff up, and it's buffing us. We're getting major resolve and ward. So what I'll do is I'll run in the middle of a group of people, maybe do a take flight, and then immediately apply dots to all of them. Because the more dots that are down, the more chances you're giving yourself for Valken to proc. As soon as that procs, that's just helping you. That's more dots that are applied to people. It's helping you so much. So that is volatile armor, and then you're also it returns anyone that attacks you that does direct damage to you, like Stamplars, Stamsorks. They're getting magic damage done back to them. It's very light, but it does add up. Next one is Vigor. So I like my heals on the same button on both bars, just so I have my I know what button I need to go to if I'm in a dire situation. So Vigor is on my Y on this bar, Rally on this bar. So Vigor, obviously, have to run Vigor. Especially with the Major Mending. Major Mending, we're getting 15k heal over 5 seconds. That's just insane. It's huge. It's awesome. I love it. I try and keep this up at all times just so it's ticking on my health, because it will help counter some of the dots that you do run into or some of the AoEs on the ground. Next dot that we have, so this is our first dot on this bar. Second dot would be rending slashes. Huge bleed over 9 seconds also reduces the enemy movement speed by 40% for 4 seconds. Yeah, I love that. It's great. Next one is Fossilize. This is kind of our auxiliary slot. I like Fossilize because I like to stun the enemy and then apply all my dots. Some people move so fast you can't even apply dots. So I like to Fossilize them, apply all my dots, and then do my heavy. If I also need to do a heavy attack, I'll Fossilize them and do a heavy attack so I know it lands, or do 2 heavy attacks. Just what it does is it stuns an enemy for 3 seconds. At the end of that, they're immobilized for 3 seconds. So. And what's interesting is a stun you have to break free to get out of, and then immobilize you have to roll dodge. So you're making the person use a lot of stamina to get out of that. And some people, if they're already running a little bit low on the stamina, you're CCing them for 6 seconds, which is, you're just getting free blows on them while they're trying to get out of the immobilize or the stun. You're just getting free blows on them. So especially someone with high mobility that I'm facing, I'll stun them. And as you can see at the bottom, it cannot be blocked or dodged. The only way someone can avoid that is if they have a movability up of some sort, movability pod or forward momentum or shuffle or reflective play, anything, something like that would give them immovability. That's the only way that it wouldn't work. But most of the time, you're able to stun them. The last one is Steel Tornado. I use this as my execute. I also love to steal kills with it. I'll just run in a group of people and just spam that thing, get a couple kills. When I see someone low health, boom, you're dead instantly. It's awesome. I love it. And then as far as the ultimates, I like Take Flight. If we buff up here, you can see that it does 18, almost 19k physical damage. And if you did run another weapon damage enchantment, it would on the jewelry, it would go up closer to 20k. And stunning them, knocking them back for 2 seconds. You could run Dawnbreaker here. I like Dawnbreaker in more groups of people, because you're going to get the initial damage and you're getting the damage over time. But I like Take Flight. I've been using Take Flight here recently because it's more physical damage up front on the front end. You're not getting a dot, but you are getting more physical damage on the front end. One thing I did notice, if you were to use a Dawnbreaker, you can fossilize. Let me go back out of here. You can fossilize them and then throw a Dawnbreaker on them, and then they have to sit in. As they're trying to get out of the fossilize, they're sitting in that physical damage over 5 seconds, which is it's pretty high tick too. So go back up. It's 15k over 5 seconds. So that's quite a bit of damage that you're. And I am in Cyrodiil right now, so that is with the damage debuff and whatnot that you get in Cyrodiil. Where is it? This thing, Battle Spirit. And then the other back bar, I use standard. This is more of our, what I like to call like if there's like a group, or if there's like a tank that I can't kill, or there's just someone I cannot kill because they're just healing through all my damage, I wait until I get 250 ultimate, and then I fossilize them and I throw down standard and all my dots ticking on them, and you're getting major defile, so they're reducing their healing and health recovery by 30%, and you're increasing your damage, and you're reducing your damage taken by 15%. So if you really want to lay it down on someone, the worst thing about this is in PvP there's high mobility, so things are moving around so much, so you have to make sure you stun them before you're laying this down. You can't just throw this down. People will just run out of it. They see it coming. They're like, I'm not standing in that, because they know what's happening on the inside. They're getting major defile. It's doing flame damage, and it's increasing my damage done to them by 15%, which is incredible. But it does cost quite a bit. The cool thing about the cost of the ultimate, and again the Earthenheart passives, is Battle Roar. So when you cast an ultimate ability, you restore 52 health, 46 magicka, and 46 stamina for each point of the ultimate cost. So a lot of people think, I'm going to use my ultimate as a damage dealer to, try and execute or finish off, or even to start the damage on someone. on DKs it's pretty cool because you can actually use a Dawnbreaker or a Take Flight to kind of even the odds. So if you're in a situation where you can't, like, you're running out of stamina, you're running out of health, you're running out of magic or whatever, and they're putting a lot of pressure on you, you can actually turn around, Take Flight them, stuns them for 2 seconds, and you restore a ton of your stats. And then you can turn around, sprint away, get everything going again, and then right back in the fight. So this build has a very high survivability, high mobility, and just, I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the comment section below. Again, my name is Big Bunny. I don't know if I said that from the beginning. So thanks for watching Big Bunny Builds, and I hope to see you soon.
You can't stop me. Can't stop, won't stop. Where the bricks at? I give him that diddy bop. Like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work. I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my faith in rap, but they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? I feel like Shaq in 9-4, breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe in Toronto, huh? Dropping 81, yo, I dropped an 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh? Everybody make mistakes like VJs, trying to say my name is Mineo. Say it with me, Mineo. Okay, great, 2 forks high, raise the stakes, risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me. You're my biggest opponent. You know me, I know you, we know it. Whenever I fail, you always been there to simply remind me I've blown it. You don't see when I'm growing. You don't see where I'm going. You only see in the moment. You know my mistakes. You never let go it. Don't cease to amaze me, and it drive me crazy. That you catch every detail that I missed in the songs I'm making. Saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick, never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive, you will never be mentioned. Why aim so high, won't survive the trenches. Plus, you a Christian, Andy. They will never listen, Andy. Plus.